The warm afternoon sunlight streamed through the curtains as I sat, cradling Ashley in my arms, reveling in the serene quiet of our home. The sudden shrill ring of my phone jolted me, and with a sense of apprehension, I glanced at the caller ID. Expecting a routine check-in from Eric, I answered nonchalantly. "Amber, where's Ashley?" Eric's voice, usually a comforting melody, exploded with an unexpected fury that sent a chill down my spine. I struggled to comprehend the accusation, my eyes darting around the room as if Ashley would magically appear. "What are you talking about, Eric?" "Ashley is right here with me," I replied, my voice a mix of confusion and growing anxiety. The silence that followed felt like an eternity, broken only by Eric's deep inhale before he spoke again, his tone sharper this time. "Don't play games, Amber. Beatrice just called, furious, asking why you left Ashley with her. Where the hell is our daughter?" My heart pounded in my chest, the accusation hanging in the air like an unspoken truth. "Eric, I swear, Ashley is at home with me." "I don't know what Beatrice is talking about," I pleaded, desperation tainting my voice. In the midst of our heated exchange, the innocence of Ashley's babbling seemed to mock the chaos surrounding her. Eric's frustration reverberated through the phone, his words laced with disbelief. "I don't have time for this, Amber. Just tell me where Ashley is." My mind raced, searching for an explanation, a rational reason for this unfounded accusation. "Eric, please believe me. Something is wrong. I'll call Beatrice right now and get to the bottom of this." I vowed, the weight of the situation sinking in as I frantically dialed my sister's number, praying for clarity amidst the growing storm of confusion. The dial tone buzzed in my ear as I anxiously awaited Beatrice's response. Each passing second felt like an eternity until finally her trembling voice filled the line. "Amber, I didn't know how to tell you," Beatrice began, her words hesitant, burdened by a heavy secret. "Tell me what, Beatrice? What's going on?" I urged, the tension in my voice mirroring the growing knot in my stomach. Taking a deep breath, Beatrice confessed, "I've been taking care of a baby, but it's not Ashley. It's a child left by your father-in-law." The revelation struck me like a thunderbolt, leaving me momentarily speechless. "Father-in-law?" I stammered, struggling to grasp the gravity of her words. "But why? And where is Ashley?" Beatrice's voice quivered with a mix of guilt and frustration. "He lied, Amber. He told me you left Ashley with me. I didn't know what to do, and I believed him. I've been caring for his child, a baby born from an affair." My mind reeled, trying to comprehend the layers of betrayal unfolding before me. "An affair?" I echoed, the word tasting bitter on my tongue. "Yes," Beatrice continued, her voice laden with remorse. "He told me you were struggling, and I thought I was helping. But it's all a lie. Ashley is with you, and I don't know whose child I've been caring for." The weight of Beatrice's confession pressed down on me, a suffocating realization that our lives had been entangled in a web of deceit. "We need to confront him, Beatrice. This can't go on," I asserted, a newfound determination replacing the initial shock. As we hung up, the room felt stifling, the air thick with the gravity of the situation. My thoughts raced, but one thing became clear. The confrontation with Eric's father was inevitable, and the unraveling of our lives had only just begun. The walls of Eric and my home seemed to close in as we embarked on the unsettling journey to confront Beatrice's father-in-law. The air inside the car was thick with tension, the silence a palpable force as we navigated the familiar route to his residence. Upon arrival, the atmosphere outside his house mirrored the turmoil within. The tension hung in the air, an unspoken anticipation of the confrontation that awaited us. Eric's jaw clenched as he stared at the front door, his emotions simmering beneath the surface. With a deep breath, I steadied myself, gripping Eric's hand for support. "We need the truth," I whispered, the weight of betrayal settling heavily on my shoulders. The door creaked open, revealing Beatrice's father-in-law, his expression a mixture of guilt and resignation. His eyes met ours, and for a moment the facade of deception cracked. "What brings you here?" he asked, attempting to feign innocence. Eric's voice cut through the tension, sharp and unforgiving. "You've been playing games, lying about Ashley and forcing Beatrice into this mess. We need the truth now." The father-in-law hesitated, the silence stretching before he finally relented. "Fine. Let's talk inside." The living room became a battleground, the truth the weapon we sought. Eric's gaze never wavered as he demanded, "Explain yourself. Why did you lie about Ashley? And whose child has Beatrice been caring for?" With a sigh, the father-in-law confessed, "It's my child, born out of an affair. I thought this was the best way to hide it. I never meant for it to spiral out of control like this." Eric's fists clenched, the reality of his father's betrayal etched across his face. "You've jeopardized our family with your lies. How could you betray us like this?" The father-in-law's attempt at justifying his actions fell on deaf ears as Eric seethed with anger. "This ends now. Beatrice and I are done with you," Eric declared, the finality in his tone echoing through the room. Beatrice's father-in-law was left to face the consequences of his deceit as we turned our backs on him, the shattered remains of trust and family left in his wake. In the aftermath of the confrontation, our home became a battleground of emotions. Eric's decision to end our marriage reverberated through the walls, leaving an unspoken ache that lingered in every corner. Beatrice, too, bore the weight of betrayal. The familial bonds she once trusted now strained. The days that followed were a blur of tearful conversations and impassioned exchanges. Eric's anguish spilled into our interactions, his once warm eyes now clouded with the shadows of betrayal. "I can't live with the constant deception," he confessed, his voice a fragile echo of the man I once knew. Beatrice, torn between loyalty to her brother and the realization of her father's deceit, struggled to find solid ground. "I never thought he could stoop so low." "We need to distance ourselves," she resolved, her determination edged with sorrow. The air in our home became thick with unspoken words and the painful acknowledgement that our once tightly knit family had splintered. Beatrice and her mother made the painful choice to cut ties with the father-in-law, a decision that left wounds in the fabric of our family that would take time to heal. As the weight of betrayal settled in, Eric and I faced the daunting prospect of rebuilding our lives separately. The images of Ashley's laughter and innocence became both a comfort and a painful reminder of the family we had lost. In the quiet moments, the silence between Eric and me was deafening, the chasm of unspoken pain widening. "I never imagined our story would unfold like this," Eric admitted, his voice a whisper of vulnerability. I, too, grappled with the new reality, the shattered dreams and the sense of loss. "We need to find a way forward, for Ashley's sake, if nothing else," I suggested, a fragile attempt to bridge the growing gap. The weight of betrayal became a heavy burden, one we carried with each step into an uncertain future. The path ahead seemed daunting, yet amidst the wreckage, a glimmer of resilience sparked, a determination to rebuild, to rise from the ashes of deception, and to find solace in the fragments of what remained. The decision to sever ties with Beatrice's father-in-law marked the beginning of a new chapter, one where we faced the aftermath of betrayal and sought to rebuild our lives without the toxic presence that had poisoned our trust. Beatrice, her mother, and I gathered in our shared determination to cut the strings that bound us to the deceitful man who had caused so much pain. I can't let him continue to manipulate and hurt us, Beatrice declared, her voice tinged with a mixture of anger and determination. We need to distance ourselves and start anew. The process of severing ties proved emotionally taxing, as each phone call and confrontation became a step towards the unknown. Beatrice's mother, once a pillar of strength, showed signs of vulnerability. It's hard to believe the man I loved for so long could betray us like this, she confided, her eyes betraying the heartbreak that echoed in her words. As we initiated the painful process of cutting ties, Beatrice confronted her father-in-law with a resolve that bordered on defiance. We won't be a part of your deception any longer, she asserted, the finality in her voice echoing through the strained air. The father-in-law's pleas and attempts at justifying his actions fell on deaf ears. You've caused enough damage. We're done, Beatrice proclaimed, closing the door on a chapter of our lives that held nothing but deception and heartache. The physical distance we imposed mirrored the emotional space we needed to heal. Beatrice's father-in-law, now left to face the consequences of his actions, became a specter of the past. In the vacuum of severed ties, the reality of a fractured family dynamic became painfully apparent. Eric, too, grappled with the weight of a decision that felt both liberating and heart-wrenching. It's time to move forward without him, he admitted, a sense of determination rising from the ruins of what was once a trusted relationship. The severed ties left scars, yet amid the echoes of betrayal, a newfound strength emerged. Beatrice, Eric, and I found solace in each other's company, a shared resolve to rebuild what had been torn apart. The process of healing had only just begun, but the act of severing ties proved to be a crucial step toward a future untethered from the deceit that had threatened to consume us. Amidst the debris of broken trust and severed ties, our mother-in-law emerged as an unwavering force, determined to hold what remained of our family together. In the face of adversity, she became the glue that bound us, a beacon of strength guiding us through the tumultuous aftermath. I won't let this tear us apart, she declared, her voice carrying a resolve that resonated in the air. We need each other now more than ever. Her determination to navigate the storm of emotions brought a semblance of order to the chaos that threatened to consume us. In quiet moments, she offered words of comfort, a steadying presence in the turbulent sea of emotions. As we gathered in the sanctuary of our shared home, her guidance became a steady anchor. We can't change the past, but we can control how we move forward, she advised, a beacon of wisdom in the midst of uncertainty. Eric, grappling with the revelation about his father, found solace in our mother-in-law's words. I never thought he'd betray us like this, he confessed, his vulnerability laid bare. But we can't let it define our future. Beatrice, too, leaned on our mother-in-law for support. It hurts, but I can't keep holding on to the pain. We need to focus on healing, she acknowledged, a testament to the resilience that ran in our veins. In the days that followed, our mother-in-law orchestrated moments of unity, shared meals, laughter, and the gentle reminder that family extended beyond blood ties. We may be broken, but we're still a family, she affirmed, her words becoming a mantra that echoed through the walls of our home. The weight of her responsibility as a matriarch was evident in the late-night conversations and comforting embraces. We'll get through this together. Stronger, she reassured, a beacon of hope guiding us through the darkness. As we navigated the uncharted territory of a fractured family, our mother-in-law's resolve became the cornerstone upon which we built our shared journey. In her presence, we found strength, a reminder that even in the face of betrayal, the bonds of family could weather the storm and emerge stronger on the other side. The revelation of betrayal cast a long shadow over our lives, and Chapter 7 unfolded with the stark realization that our once tight bonds were now strained, and the shattered pieces of our family lay scattered. In the absence of the once familiar rhythm of our lives, we grappled with the dissonance that echoed in every corner of our home. Eric's normally gentle demeanor had been replaced by a steely resolve. "I never thought our family could fracture like this," he confessed, the pain evident in his eyes. "But we can't pretend it didn't happen." Beatrice, too, struggled with the weight of a reality she never anticipated. "I miss the days when our biggest concern was planning family gatherings, not unraveling secrets," she lamented, her voice heavy with the burden of disappointment. The chime of the clock signaled the end of the comfortable routines we had once taken for granted. The absence of family gatherings and shared laughter accentuated the void left by the revelation. Our mother-in-law, though stoic in her resolve, couldn't hide the sorrow that flickered in her eyes. "I thought we were beyond such deceit," she sighed, her voice carrying the weight of decades of shared history. "But we'll weather this storm together." As we navigated the fractured landscape of our family dynamic, questions lingered in the air, unanswered and unsettling. The home that had once been a sanctuary now held the echoes of fractured trust, and every interaction was underscored by a palpable tension. The walls seemed to bear witness to the fragments of conversations, each sentence laden with unspoken pain. Can we ever rebuild what we had? Eric wondered aloud, the uncertainty in his voice mirroring the collective apprehension. Beatrice's attempt at levity fell flat. "Maybe in time we can find a new normal. But it won't be the same," she admitted, the truth hanging heavily between us. Yet, amid the shattered fragments of our family, a glimmer of resilience emerged. Eric, Beatrice, and I found solace in each other's company, a silent acknowledgement that despite the fractures, the ties that bound us were not easily severed. As Chapter 7 unfolded, we faced the stark reality of a shattered family, where the wounds of betrayal ran deep. The path to healing was uncertain, but the shared commitment to weather the storm together became a fragile thread that held the promise of rebuilding from the ruins of deception. Amidst the debris of fractured trust and shattered bonds, Chapter 8 began as a tentative exploration of the possibility of rebuilding. The air was heavy with the residue of pain, yet within the walls of our home, there lingered a shared determination to rise from the ruins of deception. "I don't know where we go from here, but we can't stay stuck in this place of hurt forever," I admitted, the weight of the words resonating in the room. Eric's gaze met mine, his eyes reflecting a mix of exhaustion and resolution. "Maybe it's time to focus on the present and build something new," he suggested, a hesitant optimism threading through his words. Beatrice, too, acknowledged the need for renewal. "We can't change the past, but we can shape our future," she remarked, her voice carrying a newfound sense of agency. Our mother-in-law, the matriarch burdened with the responsibility of guiding us through the tumult, spoke with a measured assurance. "Healing takes time, but it also requires a conscious effort to move forward together," she imparted, her wisdom serving as a beacon in the darkness. In the subsequent days, our home became a canvas upon which we painted the tentative strokes of rebuilding. Shared meals, genuine laughter, and the gradual mending of once fragmented conversations hinted at a collective desire to reclaim a semblance of normalcy. "We're like a puzzle with missing pieces," Eric mused, the metaphor hanging in the air. "But maybe we can find new pieces and create something different." Beatrice, ever the optimist, added, "Our family may not be the same, but it doesn't mean it can't be beautiful in its own way." As the chapter unfolded, we navigated the delicate dance of rebuilding trust. The scars of betrayal remained, but with each small gesture of understanding and forgiveness, the wounds began to heal. Dialogues that were once laden with unspoken pain now carried the undertones of reconciliation. We can't erase what happened, but we can choose to move forward, I asserted, the hope in my voice mirrored in the eyes of my family. The shared commitment to rebuilding from the ruins became a collective endeavor. Through the tears, the laughter, and the awkward moments, we discovered the strength that emerged from vulnerability. In the quiet resilience of our home, the possibility of a new beginning emerged, proving that even in the aftermath of destruction, there existed the potential for a beautiful reconstruction.